I haven't gone live in a while. I've been making videos more especially for YouTube, but also posting it on my Facebook page, Penuel the Black Pen. Had a really nice video two or 3 days ago that's hit probably about 350,000 views, which is pretty cool for me. You know, I think it's the most watched personal video on my Facebook page. The second one being the one I did about the EFF at Brackenfell. If you guys remember, the EFF went there and they fought because there was issues with the matric farewell and those kind of things. Posted some of the videos on TikTok. My TikTok account has done really well. I think I've had it for a few months and I'm already on 14,000 followers. My highest viewed video there, I think, is probably got 90,000 views. Could be more, I'm not sure. So I haven't gone live for a while. Posted some videos on Instagram as well. I don't understand this emotional, because it is an emotional topic to me, at least. I was watching a video of Joshua Maponga, a mentor of mine, a friend of mine, about how he's relocated to Zimbabwe. And in relocating to Zimbabwe, he was speaking about the future of Africa and how we have minerals on this continent. And the minerals are probably going to be mined by the Chinese, probably by the Europeans, maybe the Americans as well. And African people, more especially African billionaires and African leaders, are not really doing anything to lead with regards to our minerals on this nation, on this continent at least. Constantly exporting raw minerals, which then come back to us costing 1,000 times more because they've been beneficiated or they've been put in things like cell phones, laptops, you know, and a whole plethora of other IT gadgets. Lithium is one he mentions. We've heard about cobalt or cobalt, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's a sad story. I've been on a journey of non-racialism, non-sexism, personally. I am trying to remove myself from blackness. I am trying to move towards people that share my views and my ideals. People that understand me, people that understand my vision, people that want to build with me. Regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of nationality, regardless of religious background, as long as we share the same values and you want me to win and you want my circle, being my children, my friends, my family, if you want them to win, we can work together regardless. But obviously every now and then I get sucked in because, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'd become a pro-black activist. We'd set up the Buy Black movement, www.buyblack.org.za. I'd made some videos about how black people can uplift themselves. We'd done charity work with the Mamsi Mlocho Foundation, again, .org.za. And it's not easy for me to leave the black struggle and the black pain. And obviously a lot of us have been pumped with the history of the black struggle, slavery, colonization, apartheid. And because of that, a lot of us are angry. Even if we grew up very soft, you know, you find even black kids that went to top private schools, who lived in fancy homes in suburbs, whose parents earned very well. As soon as they learn the history of black people, they get fucking angry. You know, so we're dealing with that kind of dynamic. I don't know anymore if we should be focusing on black people. I don't know anymore if we should be trying to uplift people. I don't know if that makes sense anymore. my research in the history of money, my research in the banking system, my research in capitalism and how it operates and how it works, and the split between land, labor, and capital, equipment, resources. My research into the money game and how the money game is set up. Like sports, where not everyone can be on the field. Not everyone can be in the squad. Not everyone can play in the league. Not everyone can be a coach. Not everyone can be an owner. Not everyone can be an analyst. Not everyone can sponsor teams. Not everyone can manufacture kit. Not everyone can be a broadcaster. Most people are unfortunately spectators. Some of the spectators get to sit in the stadium. Some of the spectators get to watch on television, listen on radio. But for the bulk of people, they're not even spectators in the game. They don't even know which game is playing tonight, who's going to be in the squad on the pitch. Unfortunately, unlike sports, where you get to pick and choose, the money game, you don't get to pick and choose. You're forced into it from birth. You find even in 2021, people are arguing with me with this concept that you can't have a child without money. It's ridiculous to me because of my research and my leanings and penalism and my outlook on life and in the world. But it's ridiculous that people believe that if you don't have money, you almost cannot have a child. 4 generations ago, our forefathers did not have money. Yes, you can argue that they had land, but they didn't have a lot of land. Yes, you can argue that they had livestock, but a lot of them didn't have cattle. Some had chickens. They were growing their own food. They had rondavels. They were living very basically. But they didn't have money. And today you guys have made Pampers and Huggies and formula and nannies and daycare centers and fancy cots and Curo schooling and all these weird things. You guys have made those things seem like a necessity when they're actually not. But it's because obviously your brains, sadly, are small and they can only comprehend up to a certain level. And most of you only think as far as religion. Soon as you go beyond questioning God, questioning the Bible and Jesus, a lot of people just switch off. They're like, their brains can't comprehend beyond that. A lot of people can't comprehend beyond politics, government. No, the government provides. It's because of government. No, we're waiting for politicians. There's a life beyond government. There's a life beyond politicians. But a lot of you just don't want to entertain it because unfortunately your brains cannot comprehend. They're too small to look beyond that. And for the bulk of the world, you can't think beyond money. We can discuss anything and everything on planet Earth. But as soon as we have to get going, you're like, yeah, but there's no money. Yes, but I need money. Because money, unfortunately, has become your God. A lot of you went to school because of money. You might have thought it was for knowledge accumulation, but it wasn't. It was because if you go to school, then you can go to tertiary and then you can get a job and then you can earn money. That was actually the path. A lot of you chose your tertiary qualification, the tertiary school you went to, based on money. Either affordability, so you end up going to like a UJ Soweto or one of the TUT campuses in Soshanguve or somewhere. Or if you guys have got money or you got a nice scholarship, then you end up at like a UCT, maybe a Rhodes, maybe a WITS. But you also went there because you wanted to get a good qualification, to get a good job so you can earn good money. People move from Newcastle to Johannesburg, from Johannesburg to New York because of money. People pick the partners that they're with, sexual partners, romantic partners, your wife, because of money. A woman will look at a man's ability to provide, which is money. People pick their friends according to money. The way you dress has to say something about money. Complain and you no longer see your family members because you complain about black tax. A lot of you didn't go home for the festive season because of money. Money has become your God and it dictates to you how you live and how you get by in the world that we live in today. So I understand your brains are small and your comprehension only goes up to a certain level. I don't blame you. But I'm looking at the way the world works. Capitalism and money and the way they set up. They're not meant for the masses. The apartheid government did well. They were looking after majorly 8% of the population. And it worked. That's why they could live well and earn well and live in huge homes and have great farms, because they were only serving a small percentage. The ANC government, a lot of BEE beneficiaries and a lot of other rich blacks are living the same life. We're seeing people like Mamkhize and Andy Lempisane, we're seeing Casper Nyovest, we're seeing Black Coffee, even guys like Trevor Noah, etc. Those guys are living well, but they are a minority. They need you to support them. That's actually why I made this video, because I'm tired of this buy black notion that is being misused by people at the top to exploit, manipulate, scam the rest of the population. Casper Nyovest can make a video today begging you to support local artists. Please support local artists. We need you. We're hungry. COVID was bad for us. And you guys will feel bad and be like, yeah, man, we need to support local. These motherfuckers don't support local. They don't support local. They don't buy their clothing, at least the clothing that they pride themselves on, locally. Casper will now push drip, but that's only because he's going to eat from drip. Not because he's passionate about buying black and buying local. The same can be said about a lot of your favorite celebrities. These guys don't plow back into the country. A lot of their money gets exported outside. Again, Casper Nyovest has just bought a McLaren. And I'm sorry to use him as an example, but there's a lot of other people. I know Ricky Rick has pushed how he's a fashionista and the clothing that he wears. You had Ukanye Dlomo Mkhize and Judy Dlamini, who went and set up Luminance, which was buying imported brands, expensive brands, that you guys worship, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Jeez. Because you've made it, because you guys think up to money. The Pakistanis, Somalians, Ethiopians, other foreigners that own spaza shops don't live that life. They don't live the fancy, soft life that you guys are dreaming about. They don't pop bottles at Konka. They don't. They wear second-hand clothes, they repeat clothes, they sleep in their spaza shops. They are building something. If you look at the Indians in this country who are probably going to run the country in years to come, they're building. They're not partying and clubbing. Yes, they do have their weakness, which is cars. They love fancy cars. And a lot of them love building very, very big homes. But they raise their kids to work in the family business. They focused. They have cheap weddings. Muslims have cheap weddings. Hindus cremate. The Jews, cheap weddings. The poorest of the poor black people have the biggest weddings. I mean funerals, sorry. The biggest funerals, the biggest weddings. And we can try and conscientize and, and tell you guys to buy black. But Patrice doesn't give a flying fuck about you, because he is no different to a Christo Visa, to a Johan Rupert. He will give you the same spiel that these guys give, that we've created so many jobs, we've donated so much in charity, we've paid so much in tax. He's no different to any white billionaire in this country who also create jobs for black people. You go into ShopRite, the cashiers are black people. The security guard is black, the cleaner's black, the guys who are driving the trucks are black. Those are black people. So Christo Visa can say, I'm creating jobs for blacks. A lot of the managers at ShopRite are blacks. The tax that ShopRite pays goes to blacks. The charity, the scholarships that ShopRite gives is for blacks. Yes, at higher levels, the executive, it's probably white. That's where the privilege is. But you look at Patrice, I think at African Rainbow Minerals, last I checked, he's got 2 CEOs, both white. A lot of his exec team, even if you look at Time Bank, look at the executive team online. See how many black, there's none. There's no black people on the executive team of Time Bank. He's also involved in Sanlam. Not shading Patrice, but I'm trying to explain to you that these motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Aliko Dangote doesn't give a flying fuck. The fact that he's the wealthiest black man or the wealthiest man on the continent, how does that affect your family when you're struggling, when you're hungry? Will Aliko Dangote give you a job? Will he donate to your school fees? Is he helping you build a home? He's not. He's no different to the next Indian, white, Chinese billionaire who's pushing business and doing the bare minimum according to what government regulations say. Oh, we'll build a little clinic and we'll build a few schools and donate and build a little soccer field. That's because they're ticking boxes. Union leaders don't care. Union leaders live in nice suburbs. They collect money. They live well. As soon as they leave the union, they go and they become board members of a lot of these mines and other companies, and they live well. It's the world we live in. It's the money game. Siya Kolisi is not out there bashing white people because he knows that white people feed him. He knows that white people take care of him. He knows that he's got a white wife. He'll only care about black people as far as talk about his poor history, boo-hoo, talk about, we need to do well for blacks, and then singing Ikwijo. That's it. But the rest of the population, they fucked. I love these stats. Top 1% in South Africa earns 48,000 a month. The top 10% earns 7,300 Rand a month. The average black person, average black worker, earns 3,600 Rand a month. The average black family of 3 people lives on 1,500 Rand per month. We have got 15 million permanently employed people in this country of 60 million people. We have got 19 million grant recipients. Of the 16 million children we have, 12 million of them are on grants. 2/3 of all children are in no-fee schools. Those are the stats for your ass, nigga. Go to Stats SA, go to SARS. This stuff is on the internet. I hate it when people ask me what's your source. Fucking Google, swine. The fuck? Google, research. You and your tiny brain can get bigger if you do a bit of research and read a bit of shit instead of fucking celebrity gossip and Netflix and TikTok. And then you wonder why you're fucking thick and why your life's not going anywhere. It's because you're fucking lazy to research. You're hungry, you're fucking lazy to plant vegetables. You're lazy to plant a fucking peach pip so you can have a peach tree. This year, I came up with this idea of human conservation farms. And I thought, if I can get big enough and influence the right type of capitalists and leaders at United Nations level, at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation level, at any top level, we need to begin preserving poor people like we do the rhino, like we do the panda, and have villages and close them off and say, let the poorest of the poor live there, build mud huts, live off the earth, either by farming subsistently or by hunting and foraging like our forefathers did. Because the system is not built for everyone. I've done the maths over and over and over again. Like I said, the average wage in this country is between 3.5 and 4,000 Rand. That means if everyone shared their income equally, including the richest people, you would only get 3.5 if they shared it. That's the stats. It's not sustainable. Inflation keeps going up. Rent keeps going up. School fees keeps going up. The cost of food keeps going up. Eskom is now going to be increasing tariffs next year by 20%. This thing wasn't built for everyone. And it's sad because the struggle heroes and those people obviously sold you guys a dream. And they told you that we're all going to live well. It's bullshit. It doesn't work. That's why Eskom is still 400 billion in debt. That's why state-owned enterprises, SOEs, are fucked. None of you are paying your TV license. That's why the SABC needs to get bailed out every year. All of you have bribed traffic cops. A lot of you have illegally connected electricity in Bridgile. That's all money that's not going into building the nation. You're the problem. You're part of the problem. It's not just your corrupt politicians, it's you too. Who do you buy from? You buy from the Pakistani spaza shop. You buy from White ShopRite, which sends its money to the Western Cape. You go to China Mall and you buy imported goods that are creating jobs in China. You're eating at McDonald's, which is sending money to America. Eating at KFC, which is sending money to America. You're so proud of yourself for your BMW and your Mercedes-Benz that are going to Germany. And then you wear Italian clothing and you carry an iPhone. Obviously, it's not going to work. Locally, It's not going to work continentally. So I'm starting to think maybe we need to just fucking stop. Because what's the difference between the Chinese mining resources in Emalahleni and taking them to China and developing them and then sending them back here, and the guys in Stellenbosch mining resources Emalahleni, sending them to Stellenbosch and then selling them around the country at a premium? What's the difference between Bill Gates setting up a business in this country and milking money and becoming wealthy on his own, and Cyril Ramaphosa or Patrice or Johan Rupert doing the same? There's no difference. Maybe a lot of us, those of us who claim to be talented, need to move. Trevor Noah moved. Black Coffee obviously split, but he moves. Some of the most talented soccer players that you guys admire, guys like Percy Tau, Benny McCarthy, they moved. Intelligent people move. Elon Musk moved. Charlize Theron moved. If you're talented, why are you here? Bothering with people that don't want to work, with people that are undereducated, miseducated, that will beat you up and hate on you any chance they get because they suffer from self-hate and misery. In a country where the politicians are corrupt, where the business owners are corrupt, where the employees are lazy and they steal from the company and they bunk as much as possible, when none of you want to support our businesses because you say, your black business service so bad, I mean, fuck. Why should we bother? Why should we bother? Why are we not moving? Our ancestors always moved to fertile land. If the cows had finished the grass, they moved. If the rivers had dried up, they moved. We move today because of money. Like I said, you move from Newcastle to Joburg, from Joburg to New York. So maybe similarly, if you are talented, you need to move. Because historically, all the imbecilic fucking moron heroes died. Whether fictional or not, Jesus Christ died trying to fucking uplift the swines. And his little 12 disciples never avenged him as far as I know. As far as that lacquer book, which is rivals Marvel Comics, doesn't speak about the disciples putting together revenge, revolting against King Herod. Died. Hero. Oh, celebrate Jesus. Died. Tupac died. Steve Biko died. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Chris Hani died. Cyril Ramaphosa is alive and rich and comfortable. We call him a sellout, but he's living well. Hyde Park, Sandhurst there. Living well with his fat son, Andile. And his other son, the Bitcoin boy, Tumelo. Living well. Patrice Motsepe and his family, living well. The guys who sold out. Vusi Tembekwayo, who's tried to educate you guys, I think has kind of sold out. And I think he's going to be fine. Eating well, living comfortably, creating jobs, paying tax, donating to people. That's what you guys want. Trying to actually uplift you guys and invest in you guys is fucking hard. I've lost so much money investing in small black businesses. It's come back to fucking kick me in the face. And because I got black investors that believed in me, I let them down. I lost money for them and they fucking hate my guts today. A lot of them have written me off. Yeah, I once put money in Penwell and I lost it. So why bother? I could have stayed at Absa, I could have stayed at Standard Bank. I'd be earning maybe a comfortable 80,000 to 100,000 Rand a month now. Living in a nice neighborhood. The African dream. That would be me. But I decided to be a fucking martyr and a savior and an uplifter and an educator for people that don't want to be saved. Don't save us. Go fucking get rich so we can worship you. So that you can trend. So that we can take pictures of your fancy car and your beautiful, bleached, fat-ass, yellow-bone wife. And your cute kids. And be like, oh, I wish I could live like Pino. You're soft life, Ndwana. And go to spas and exfoliate and make sure that I'm well groomed. Because trying to help the fuck out of the masses is a mental illness. And I don't want it anymore. Human preservation farms where we close off the poor and we let them live out like our forefathers. Don't let them have technology. Don't let them have money, because that stuff has polluted them. Don't even give them religion. Let them fetch water from the river. Let them fetch wood for fire. Let them grow their own food. And like I said, hunt and forage. Don't give them education. That's the beginning of the toxicity. Teaching them fancy English so they can have these crazy ideas about liberation and studying Frantz Fanon and Lenin and Marx. Let's liberate our people like the history of China and Mao Zedong. Planting toxic fantasy in their heads while the rich stay oppressing, exploiting them, because the system is actually designed for minority and nothing will change. It won't change. I won't change it. I don't know anyone who's actually fought the system and won. Like I said, even your boy JC, Jesus Christ, was killed. So maybe as a part of penalism, my religion, my belief system, I need to begin liberating minds realistically. Let go of the dreams. Let go of money, of soft life. Let go. Move backwards towards being a chimpanzee. If you're not farming, hunt, forage. Go and look for trees around you and pick fruits from them. Make sure that you shit on those trees. Make sure you piss on those trees so you can fertilize them. Get some water going there. Go and live in the villages. I saw the stats. In terms of habitable land on the planet, human beings only live on 1%. If you were to take all human beings and put them next to each other, all 8 billion of us would fit in Los Angeles, one city on the eastern coast of the globe. Los Angeles. Then I looked at South African stats because I've really been fascinated about land. Blacks don't want land. Human beings in this country live on 1.5% of the land in this country. Any of you have ever traveled in a taxi, in a motor, via plane, drive, N1, N3, N2 drive. Look at how much land is out there chilling. Black people don't want to go fucking live there because there's nothing. There's no money. There are no white people in establishments. They'd rather live in squatter camps like cockroaches, like rats on top of each other. They'd rather live like that than go and live in the wilderness. 15% of total South African land is under tribal leadership. 15%. The villages that you guys don't want to go to. 15% of the land is under the state, under government. That's 30%. That's about a third of our land that's actually accessible. The 30% that normally drives black people insane is farmland. Yes, that farmland, 72% of it is owned by white people. Yes. But that's only 30% of the land. Then there's another 40% of the land owned by companies and NGOs and other trusts. A lot of you are never going to go home. A lot of you are struggling. You actually hate your family members. Sitting down and say, listen, let's work together. How many homes does your family own? Have you ever thought of putting them in a trust and taking that trust, going to a bank and saying, we've got collateral, give us money. We want to go and buy a shopping center. These are the meetings and the plans that Indian people in this country have, that Jewish people in this country have. They work together. What is our family plan? Are we trying to be doctors? Are we trying to be engineers? Are we trying to set up retail, wholesale? Do we have a plan, or is it every man for himself? I'm going to go as far away as possible from my family and be as rich, way richer than any of them, so that I can call myself a success. That's success, according to us. I think the human preservation farms will be a game changer if they ever get implemented by myself or any other great thinker and leader in this world. Unfortunately, I'm not Elon Musk, so people don't take me seriously. Unfortunately, I'm not Sadhguru. I'm not Bill Gates. I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm just Penwell. And until obviously your favorite people say it, I'm just a clown. You have to wait because you don't trust me. You have to wait till a billionaire or a very famous person says the same thing. then you're like, oh wow, you know, actually this COVID thing doesn't make sense. But I've been fucking saying it for months. But who the fuck am I? And why the fuck should I bother? I've asked people to donate to me so I can carry on doing work. I had a meeting a few months ago with Robert Hersoff, third generation rich guy from South Africa, because his grandfather was set up Anglo Fall, which has given birth to a lot of industry in this country. A lot of people after I met with Rob were like, oh, you're going to sell out, you've been captured. I'm like, who the fuck do you think I am? Have you not been fucking following me? Do I look like a fucking punk to you? Clearly. And oh, because now rich man Rob met with this guy. Oh, let's take him seriously. That again says that you don't respect me. You respect him. You'll respect Bill Gates. So if Bill Gates has a meeting with me, you'll give me that time of day. Not because of me, because of Bill Gates. Because you don't see me. Until I become a billionaire, until I become super famous. You don't see me because your brain is small. You cannot comprehend beyond money and fame, television. I have to get on TV for you to listen to me. So why should I bother? There are so many great white people who have helped me in my life as I develop. So many great Indian people, Jewish people, Afrikaans people who have done so many great things for me and imparted great knowledge. A lot of great people as well, rich black people who have called me close and asked me for help and asked me for advice. Those are my friends. Those are people who believe in me. Those are people that are not waiting for me to be famous and rich. They say, we see you. Siyakubona. We see you and we see your value. People that I'm actually trying to uplift see celebrities. Celebrities that are pushing them into debt. Over 75% of this country is in debt. Over 50% of this country has a negative net worth. You guys are fucked and it's going to keep getting worse. So maybe you need to unplug. Be a minimalist. Wear black every day. Live off the earth. Volunteer at a nearby garden. Get guns. It's still embarrassing that after Phoenix, after what happened with the looting, black people are not piling up at shooting ranges, learning how to shoot, learning how to get guns. It's embarrassing, but it's not surprising because these people don't want liberation, freedom. If you wanted liberation and freedom, you'd wake up every day. You would do push-ups. You would do squats. You would do calf raises. You would learn how to fight. You would get guns. You would begin buying from your people. You would begin learning how to set up industry. You would grow your own food. You would educate your own children. You would travel the world and learn best practice. And you would sit down with your family and with advisors like myself and say, Penwell, help us set up a 5-year, 10-year, 50-year, 100-year plan for our family. Not just economically, but spiritually, academically, in terms of the education and knowledge, in terms of which country we want to settle in or which countries we want to colonize, and also in terms of breeding. Do we want to have Chinese blood in us? Do we want to have white blood in us? Do we want to have Indian blood in us? How can we make sure that our family becomes strong and great? Like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Mutsipes, the Ruperts, the Gates family. Got no plan. Your plan is for Friday. Your pooza. I don't know how I dodged the alcohol bullet. I'm very thankful for that. And the smoking bullet. I don't do drugs. Very blessed and very lucky that my brain could be able to fight off all these things. But you guys are fucked. Enjoy life, of course, because life is but a fleeting moment. Enjoy it. Do the best you can. Chase happiness, you know. Get a nice car. Live in a nice home. Make sure your kids go to a good school. Go on holiday, you know. But understand that the privileges that we have today come from the sacrifices of many men that have come. Many men and women that have come before us. Whether it's a Leonardo da Vinci, a Michelangelo, a Beethoven, could be a Thomas Edison, a Nikola Tesla, could be the father of the Samsung group, could be Steve Jobs, could be Elon Musk. You know, the guys that invented electricity, the car, the Wright brothers with the airplane, the guys who invented money, language, you know, it's because of their sacrifices we've built all these layers of progression that we get to enjoy today. Some of us would like to add on to those layers. I think Kanye West is one of the people that's trying to add on to the layers. Joe Rogan is trying to add on to the layers. We're trying to make sure that future generations live better. Because some of us were actually brave enough, like Jan van Riebeeck, coming on behalf of the Dutch people to set up camp here. Like Cecil John Rhodes. Brave people. Robert Mugabe, brave man, saying, let me give land to my people. Mao Zedong killing his own Chinese people so that other Chinese people could thrive. Adolf Hitler making sure that I think the Jews are the problem. Idi Amin said, I think the Indians are the problem. Today we're saying foreigners are the problem. There are brave men who take a stand and they fight for the betterment of their people and for the world, so that some of you can enjoy soft life and some of the privileges you enjoy. So some of us are going to keep fighting. Some of us are going to keep pushing. We've got so much work to do. Language is not evolved. Money is evolving slowly because cryptocurrency is fucking bullshit. We've now got NFTs which are coming to colonize creative work online. Artificial intelligence, robots. There's a lot of work that's being done. Unfortunately, it's not being done by you because you're lazy and distracted. And you don't want to gather with other think tanks and be a future leader that your children, your grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren can worship. Even if it means you were the person that decided to go back into the wilderness and make sure that your immune system became strong, make sure that your family became strong, and started breeding with other strong people so that you can have strong offspring, so that you can be bad motherfuckers. Tall, strong, brave, loud, dominant. Because the world is ruled by dominant people. That's why Nigerians shit on all Africans. Tall motherfuckers, the Nigerians. Love them. Because life is about winners. The rest of you are just the spectators, like I said, like in sports. Just here to watch the game and enjoy it. But yeah, I'm really trying to leave blackness. Trying to build with people that share my values and trying to see how I can do better in my life for my people, whether it's my family and friends, other people that believe in me, people that are willing to pay me for my knowledge, people that are willing to invite me to their events, people that invite me to their TV sets, TV platforms to speak, to their podcasts, people that see value in me and are willing to put in the work. I've connected a lot of people that are making money off each other, that have gotten jobs from each other because I've connected them. And it makes me happy because I'm doing good work and I want to focus more on doing that. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Watch Why Humans Rule the World by Yuval Noah Harari. TED Talk on YouTube. Best video I watched in 2021. Watch the movie Don't Look Up. Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, amongst others. Brilliant movie. Posted a few lists on my page, and I have them if people want, of some of the coolest shit I've seen on YouTube. Some of the greatest books I've read. 1984 by George Orwell. Animal Farm by George Orwell. Some of the greatest movies I've watched. V for Vendetta with Hugo Weaving. Yeah, man, if you're interested in growing your brain beyond the peanut that it is now, if you're interested in not worshipping presidents and these bad people you guys call kings or fucking Misuzulu, Nabo Dalinjebo, if you're interested in not worshipping even Elon Musk, Kanye West and Joe Rogan and trying to live and think beyond and be brave, and be independent and be strong so that you can maybe build your own Shembe church or your own ZCC church. If you want to be a bad motherfucker and leave a huge stamp on the world like Nelson Mandela, let's connect and let's do something. I'm going to read some of these messages, but I think my talk is done and I'm probably going to try and download this video and then put it on my YouTube as well. Looking forward to connecting with a lot of you in the coming year. I want to focus on speaking. Invite me to your family events, to your Stokvel gatherings, whatever event, whenever you want to sit together. If you'll put in some petrol for me, give me some money so I can feed myself, I'll be there. and we can start speaking about the future and how you and your people can live better. Stay strong. I love you.